Sebastian Abbot Whether it is a book or documentary, I'm always on the lookout for engrossing human interest, behind-the-scenes deep dives about clubs, countries, or individuals in the wide world of soccer. Soccer fans have never had it so good with the treasure trove of these stories available. One recent release that perfectly fits this human interest, behind-the-scenes bill is the non-fiction book The Away Game, The Epic Search for Soccer's Next Superstars by Sebastian Abbot. Initially, I thought calling the talent search epic in the book's subtitle was hyperbole, but it ends up being an apt description. Abbot, who spent several years living in Egypt and Pakistan as an Associated Press bureau chief, chronicles an ambitious talent search program begun in 2008 called Football Dreams. The program, which is likely the largest talent search in sports history, was an initiative of the eye-wateringly wealthy Aspire Sports Academy in Qatar. The purpose of Football Dreams was twofold. First, to find undiscovered players, mostly in West Africa, give them world-class training, then get them signed to professional contracts with major clubs in Europe, with Aspire hoping to collect big player rights fees. The second aim was to compile a roster of top youth talent that would train alongside Qatari players to help develop that country's virtually non-existent native soccer talent. Abbot's description of the history and current culture in Qatar does not help readers feel any better about the bribery and cheating schemes that awarded that country the 2022 World Cup. While he doesn't spend much time on that scandal, he paints a disturbing picture of a country whose population has so much excess wealth, it has little incentive to do anything productive, so it just buys stuff, like World Cups and soccer teams. The Football Dreams program was headed by former FC Barcelona youth director, Joseph Colomer, who helped launch the career of some guy named Lionel Messi. Colomer saw Football Dreams as a tantalizing challenge and opportunity to unearth a similar talent in the slums and remote, dusty corners of West Africa. Abbot tracks many players over several years, but primarily focuses on Diawando Diagne, a cerebral Senegalese defender, Ibrahima Drame, a tall striker, also from Senegal, who scores for fun, as they say, and Bernard Appiah, a midfielder from Ghana who is often the smallest player on the field but whose play is frequently compared to Messi. Before I cracked open The Away Game, I didn't realize how much of it took place in Senegal. Having lived in Senegal for several years, I've been to most of the Senegalese cities Abbot mentions, so I admittedly had a biased, absorbing interest. However, you don't need to have visited any of the locales in the book to get sucked into this drama. Abbot weaves a clear narrative, as Colomer and his boys navigate a complex world of politics, corruption, infighting, mega money, agents, and even fans. The moral and tragedy of this story is that potential does not translate easily into superstardom for any player, but African players are particularly burdened with challenges unique to their continent and culture. It's hard enough for European players, as Abbot points out, only about 1% of the 10,000 kids in the entire English academy system end up making a living in soccer. We can scarcely imagine what the African players in MLS have gone through to get here. The book gets slightly bogged down in a couple spots with comparative analyses of youth sports recruitment science. But it quickly gets back on track following the lives and challenges of the players who are selected from the millions of boys who try out for Football Dreams. The Away Game makes you realize that West Africa is indeed loaded with untapped potential. MLS teams are only scratching the surface of the African talent pool. FC Dallas currently has 3 West African players on its roster, though 2 of them, both Ghanaian, are on loan. I wish Abbot had spent time discussing the MLS prospects for African players. MLS doesn't even seem to be on their radar. Regardless, he brings home the reality that talent searching in Africa is fraught with logistical and human roadblocks that make it an expensive and perilous undertaking. No spoilers here, but the away game is a suspenseful, moving journey as you get to know these kids and their families, most of them severely impoverished, and root for them to make it. The results are occasionally triumphant, and frequently heartbreaking. It is a truly eye-opening experience, well worth your time. Nathan Nipper is the author of the award-winning book Dallas, Till I Cry, Learning to Love Major League Soccer. Third degree.